Definitely a scary situation. All right, Katie, thanks. Moving on now. Two scary scenes this past weekend for drivers along the shoreline. State police investigating a pair of shootings on I-95.
Both shootings happening just a couple of hours apart from one another. The first happened on the northbound side of 95 near exit 32 in Bridgeport. The other just about 2 hours later, also on 95 North, but in East Lyme. That shooting sent one person to the hospital. State police arrested Matthew Boughton in connection with the Bridgeport shooting there. Well, the father of a 4-year-old, which is right here, was arraigned at Bridgeport Superior Court today. Police say Boughton was shooting a gun out of his car on Sunday afternoon. Officers were able to track him to New Haven, where they eventually made an arrest. Boughton has 2 previous cases from last August, which he's pled guilty to criminal possession of a pistol and carrying a pistol without a permit.
We certainly appreciate people that, if they notice things occurring in their communities, contacting us. If something looks out of place, something looks suspicious, and any time an incident like this occurs, whatever it might be, we ask the public if they have any information to certainly contact us. If they contact us, their calls, their text messages are certainly confidential.
Matthew Boughton is being held on $150,000 bond and is expected to appear back in court on June 21st. Again, a few hours after the Bridgeport shooting, another shooting was reported on I-95 in East Lyme near exit 76. Traffic cameras caught this video in East Lyme of police on the highway. The shooting left one person with injuries. That person was sent to the hospital but is expected to recover. Police do not believe the 2 shootings are related.
Well, the man accused in a deadly crash last year in Waterbury that killed a 3-year-old has been arrested on new charges. State police issued a warrant for the arrest of 18-year-old Zaki Lee. Troopers tried to pull him over back in November after they say Lee was involved with selling drugs. Court documents say Lee took off and officers began chasing him. His car collided with another car near South Main and East Liberty Streets. That vehicle then spun out of control and hit a traffic pole, which fell and killed 3-year-old Justin Quiroz. Lee was arraigned on several different charges, including 5 counts of reckless endangerment, reckless driving, and operating a vehicle without registration nor insurance. Well, new information tonight on this frightening school bus crash. Tonight, we're learning 3 students from Noah Webster School had to be taken to the hospital with minor injuries following that collision. This all happened at the corner of Broadview Terrace and Flatbush Avenue this afternoon. Those injured students are expected to be okay. No word whether the driver of that black car right there will face any charges.
Police investigating this nasty rollover crash in New Britain. It happened on East Street around 4 o'clock. The video shows 2 cars, it looks like, involved in it. A scary sight to see, but everyone inside of this vehicle was able to get out.
Moving on now to some new developments in a story that was first here on Fox 61. People in Meriden furious about water contamination, bringing their concerns straight to the city council.
They're demanding answers on why they were never notified when the contamination was first discovered. Fox 61's Carmen Chow broke this story. She joins us live tonight in Meriden with an update. Carmen.
Ben and Jen, this was a very packed meeting, and while several angry residents says none of their concerns were addressed, the chairwoman of the Public Works apologized, but they said that's simply not enough.
I, as chair of Public Works Department, apologize to you for any fear that you went through.
Kathy Batista addressed the entire room, looking residents in the eye, admitting the city should have done better. She says she was not aware of the notice at all until she got one herself. Last week, she and other Meriden homeowners got these letters stating the level of haloacetic acids exceeded the city's water standards from January through March. Residents were supposed to be notified within a 30-day period, but the letter wasn't received by most until April 30th.
It was something that was really, really horrible. She didn't know about it, and she sat there and she waffled and she lied. I think that they all should be in trouble. We should hold all their feet to the fire. They represent us.
There was no transparency. There was no communication. Somebody dropped the ball and somebody should be held accountable. That's just my opinion.
Dennis Ways admitting the notice was sent using an outside firm.
And the more he answers a question, the more questions are put out there.
On top of that, there was an even earlier issue with the water source back in August. The city never notified water customers because the contamination level wasn't deemed serious. Officials adding it would require long-term consumption for anyone to see any health effects.
It takes adults a little bit longer for us to get sick, but what about our babies?
I just think this was a pat on the back and to say, okay, we placated everybody. We gave them their answers. Take it and spoon feed it. I'm not taking that. No, it's not enough.
And the Director of Public Utilities also mentioning that they plan on hiring a consultant to better monitor the city's water situation so this doesn't happen again. But talking to many residents on the way out of the meeting tonight, they said they won't stop attending these meetings until they get more than an apology. I'm live in Meriden. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
All right, Carmen, thank you very much. New information tonight. A plan to lengthen the runways at Tweed Airport has gotten the official seal of approval from the New Haven Board of Elders. This, according to the New Haven Register. Tweed says it needs to lengthen those runways in order to attract more flights and larger planes. Neighbors are concerned it could affect their quality of life. Even though this is a win for Tweed, the fate of the runways will ultimately depend on state lawmakers.